all-new episode of the 2-Minute Drive podcast. I'm Palace alongside my co-hosts, Abraham Trevino and Jake Ramirez. What's up, guys? NFL season is in progress.
What is up?
What's going on, guys? Excited for this season.
All right. Folks, we weren't here for week one. Life gets in the way, but we're here to go full force all the way to the Super Bowl 59 in Louisiana at the Superdome. First, before we get into anything week one, just for the audience, we want to reveal our Super Bowl predictions. And again, we have the opportunity to revise it post Thanksgiving. So I guess I'll go first if y'all don't have yours ready, because I'm ready to give my take. I put it out there on Facebook about a couple of weeks ago. So, folks, my Super Bowl 59 prediction is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady on the call. I'm excited. Any thoughts on that, Jaco?
I think that we can all have dreams and hopes, but that's cool.
I've lived out my dreams. 7 championships, multiple AFC, NFC championships. I'm all about hoping and dreaming and winning, Jake.
I mean,
hopefully one day you can experience that.
We'll see. If Joe Burrow's not injury prone by the time they get to the playoffs team and make that a playoff run.
That is true. That is very true.
Baker, if he's looking good, they could maybe. So I'll give you that.
We'll get into that in a little bit, but again, this is all before anything. So this was even before the first game of the season. So that was always going to be my pick.
Yeah.
Jake, do you have one?
Yeah, I'm going to make this a little interesting.
Are you?
I have kind of two, but it's, it's kind of two.
Well, you can only go with one.
Okay, but I'll say two.
No, you're not going to say two. You're going to say one.
No, I'm going to say two. I got.
Oh, you got one.
Well, because everybody knows already that I want the Kansas City Chiefs versus my Cowboys, but that's not my.
So that's your pipe dream.
So
give us your realistic. Give us your realistic Super Bowl.
All right, I'm going to surprise both you guys. Depending on how good the Jets are going into the postseason, I got the Jets meeting the Detroit Lions, Super Bowl 59 in Louisiana.
You got the Jets
versus
Goff
Detroit.
Versus Rodgers.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Wait, who did you say? Jets and who?
Detroit
Lions.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I like Aaron Rodgers despite what you all think. I've given him his flowers plenty. I just think he's not the same quarterback anymore, and that's not even going off of the Achilles injury. That was like before even like his final couple of years in Green Bay. Like it just hasn't really been the same. But I would enjoy that Super Bowl.
Cool. Abe, your thoughts on that one?
I like the Lions one. The Jets, of course, it was the first game, so Aaron Rodgers.
No, don't talk about anything about the first game. This is all pre-notion.
I don't know. Maybe the Jets. I'm not really sold on them just yet, but maybe. I like the Lions one. That's a good one.
Cool.
What's your pick, Abe?
I'm gonna go Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions.
Another one I wouldn't mind seeing. CJ Stroud versus Jared Goff, 2 high-powered offenses. That one would probably be a score fest, to be honest. It'd be like super high scoring.
Yeah.
I personally don't think CJ Stroud's there yet. So, and the Texans team with Diggs coming along first year, they're not there yet, but that's another thing to talk about later.
Well, we will get into that. And I'm going to pin that little comment you just said. So
I'm not the only one who feels that way.
All right. It's probably the first time I've heard it, but okay. Our Super Bowl predictions are in. Again, folks, the audience, we do reserve the right to revise these picks post Thanksgiving because obviously injuries come into play, all these other different factors. We're allowed to revise it one more time. So we did it, I think we did 2 revisions last year because of damn Abe tearing his Achilles. So we had to do a revision on the Super Bowl picks. But this year, just the one, and then the revision in November. So we all good with that? Lock it in?
Yeah. Lock it in, Abe.
All right. Let's talk about week 1 for a little bit. Obviously, can't really judge all too much because, teams don't really play that much in the preseason anymore. So you're going to see a lot of bad football play, bad quarterback play, referee calls all over the place. What are your takeaways? Anything jump out to you? We'll start with you, Abe.
What is it? That new kickoff format, like they do.
Oh yeah, what do you think of that?
I don't like it. I think Jake, you're the one that was saying there was a lot of touchbacks.
Yeah,
with those kicks. Yeah, I don't really like that. That was one of them. Are we talking about games, or we're just talking about like in general, like the NFL?
Well, I mean, anything. It could be a game. It could be I don't know, a
play
you saw.
I'm gonna talk about the game. It's the very first game, the Ravens and the Chiefs. I was expecting the Ravens. I mean, Robert, remember last year we saw the Ravens play the Chiefs. They just couldn't do shit. Like they couldn't get anything going. Lamar looked like he was just, I don't know, like zombie mode or something. So I thought maybe in the offseason they were going to work on that. Like he did lose some weight, they said. And so he looked slimmer, but it looked like the same old Ravens. They just couldn't really, I mean, they got offense going, Derrick Henry had a couple of good runs. He had that touchdown. It looked promising. I was like, oh, okay. I like it. And then after that, just silent from their end. Like they just really couldn't get anything going. I felt like I felt like they were the better team going against the Chiefs. And the Ravens, I felt like should have won that game. But I think this, and you're probably going to say, oh, it's the first game, but I still think that the Ravens should have wanted revenge from last year, getting bounced. And I didn't see that. I mean, I saw it early on, and then after that, it just kind of went away. So that's one of the games to where I was just like, man, like I was hoping, also with the toe tap or the toe, kind of.
Oh yeah.
It looked like it was it. I mean, it looked like a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, it was. If you go back to Super Bowl 52, the same type of play happened, and they called it a touchdown but again, it was against the Patriots, and we all know the history there. But that's in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you thought? The Ravens looked pretty good though overall. I mean, and then the introduction of Derrick Henry as running back, I thought that he looked okay, but they need to really figure out how they're going to utilize him more to get more rushing yards because he kind of disappeared like the second half.
Hey,
I don't know what's going on with him.
Hey, Robert, real quick, let me ask you in regards to Derrick Henry. Was it just me, or I mean, I don't know if you saw the game. I watched like the first quarter of it, or a little bit of it here and there. But did it look like Derrick Henry was kind of like gassed out already? Like maybe, he didn't have the juice, the juke. I don't know. I mean, because don't forget Tennessee ran him a lot, and I mean, do you think maybe it was just kind of like pregame or like the first game jitters, or maybe he's just kind of, he's got to get going, or do you think he's kind of gassed a little bit?
Well, a lot of these players are going to be gassed again. A lot of people didn't play in the preseason. I don't think he played at all. I could be wrong on that, but you can fact check me. I want to address your 2 points that you made. So first about the kickoff thing, I was excited about it first on paper, and I thought this was going to be an opportunity where people were going to like kick it more towards more like a punt really, and have it land like in the 10-20 spot.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, there was a bunch of touchbacks, so it wasn't even fun at all. It was like boring. I know that guy from Arizona did have like a return touchdown with this format, but for the most part, nobody was really trying to do anything with it. But also I can see why, because they're all just in one giant straight line. and all the kick returner has to do is break on one of them, and they can go. And that's what happened with Arizona. So I can see a lot of teams are probably going to go for the touchback rule. As far as the game with the Chiefs and the Ravens, I my dad mentioned this while we were watching the game. He was like, dude, like Lamar Jackson is not a pocket passer. And you can tell when he started to do well is when he started to scramble. And I think that's where you need to start getting Derrick Henry more in the mix, because you can do that double threat of like, well, who's going to run? Is it going to be him or is it going to be Lamar? And I think that's where you can confuse opponents and you can get more yardage and get more out of your drives and sustain them. And I think had they had done that more, they could have kept Mahomes off the field and keep them from scoring points. So I think that should have been their game plan. They're going to have to reassess, because I agree with my dad. I don't think Lamar Jackson is a pocket passer, even though that's what they're trying to make him do. He needs to play his game, which is he's a scrambler. And of course, that's when they started playing well in that second half in the final like 2 quarters.
Yeah, I agree with a lot you said there, Robert. Also, I mean, on the Mahomes or the Chiefs side, I thought Mahomes had a pretty good game, 291 yards, 1 touchdown. He did throw that pick, which the Ravens did they capitalize on that? Did they get a field goal out of it? I think they got a field goal, right?
I'm not sure what they got out of it, but I mean, I will say this about the Chiefs offense. They were faster. I don't know if that was just a detriment on the Ravens D, but the Chiefs did look faster than they did last season. So that could be scary going forward if they figured things out. But, I mean, I wasn't really all too impressed with the Chiefs. I mean, they did what championship teams do, is that they figured it out and won, but they weren't like this. Like Travis Kelce was barely a non-factor. So, and of course they're always gonna make it seem like he's a big deal, but he didn't really do anything in that game.
Not that game, but the receiving corps did. That's where Mahomes went off with the receiving corps. That rookie.
Yeah, they have that one. They have that one guy. What is it? Xavier Worthy.
Worthy.
That guy's super fast.
Yeah,
super fast. But we'll see. Well, I mean, again, it's week 1, so I can't really judge their offense too much. I'll start looking maybe like middle of October, closer early November, kind of get a sense of what this team's going to be. Jake, do you have any thoughts on or anything that stood out to you in week 1?
I guess we're not talking about every game, right? We're not doing
no,
that.
Just something that stood out to you. Like, it doesn't have to be all these different things.
Yeah, the Friday night game in Brazil, I guess you could say, the Packers and Philly game. Saquon coming, from injury and doing really good. I have to admit, I mean, I'm kind of scared of Philly now. I didn't have that going into the season. If Saquon continues to do that, okay. Now we can see if now Philly wins NFC East over the Cowboys. What did y'all think of the game?
Actually, that's the only one I didn't really get to see much of, even highlights wise. I think the only thing I saw was the close up of Jordan Love's knee like popping, which that looked rough.
Was that was in the third quarter, right? Or was that?
I think it was towards the end of the game. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't watch highlights. So
yeah, that one
I can't really speak on 2 of those teams. Exactly. Abe, do you have anything on Jake's Brazil game?
I just saw the highlights of Saquon's runs and his scores, and man, yeah, he looks good in Philly, man. I think that's what he needed, because it wasn't happening in New York. But of course, it's still the first game. But yeah, I mean, I didn't watch that game either. That's one of the games I didn't watch, but I saw some of the Saquon highlights, and it looks scary. But
yes,
we'll see, because Saquon starts out like that. He starts out strong, but you got to also mention that he's got that knee issue. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, I think he's in a better run organization, so they may manage his workload better. So there's a chance that they won't run him into the ground. So you got to remember that.
We'll see how they manage him. They do it right.
For me, I know it's only week 1, but I want to talk a little bit about this illegal formation call that they're starting to really hone in on, which I'm trying to see how long it's going to last, because it's slowing the game down and all that. So, and I'm sure Goodell's not going to like that. But I was curious as to, like, they were calling it constantly in the Thursday game against the Ravens, but they barely called it on the Chiefs. And the Chiefs were so blatant about doing it. This is a problem that they've had for a couple of seasons now, where that far right tackle like jumps back before anything, and they would never call it. And I saw it again on Thursday, and we kept denying. Like me and my dad were like, dude, like if you're gonna call it for the Ravens, like call it on the Chiefs. Like they're doing it just as much as the Ravens are. And it was happening all over the league this weekend. But I'm curious if y'all think that it's gonna last, or if they're gonna continue to, just double down and make these calls. But I think to me, it's gonna slow the game down. But there has to be a way for, teams to not jump. Like I don't know. There's got to be a middle ground in there somewhere.
I don't have much to say on it, Robert, to be honest. The only thing I will say is that I think it'll continue to happen, and judging by which teams are playing, it could go in that team's favor. If it's the hotshot team, like you said, the Chiefs, which is not good.
Abe?
I don't think they're gonna. I think it's gonna take a lot for them to kind of go away with that call. I mean, I did see it a lot on Thursday, with the Ravens. I think it might be something where, like in the off season, they'll probably just be like, "Oh, they're gonna change the rules and get away with that." I think that's what's gonna happen. They've done that. I can't remember what rule it was, where they didn't change it till the off season. So I think this might be that same kind of outcome on there. I don't know, but yeah, I think it does slow the game down though. It's kind of annoying, but
I mean, I'm fine with it, but like call it both ways. Like, I mean, the Chiefs were blatantly doing it and they weren't calling it. And I'll go into that other one, even though this was like a rare instance where the defensive coach called a timeout and they took it, but that's not how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's okay. It's the Chiefs. It's opening night. They're the champions or the defending champions. We'll let them get away with it. It's like, what? They even called it out on commentaries. Like, you're not supposed to do that. So I don't know why they were able to get away with it. Because if it were anybody else.
Well, I mean, it was already in mid-play too, right?
Or yeah, but they still called it regardless. The Ravens were like in the red zone or something like that. So I don't know if it cost them, or I don't know what ended up happening on that drive, but I just found it really weird that like they just allowed it, and they were just and then even the commentary they were just laughed about it. It's like, dude, if this was like the playoffs, this would ruin somebody's team or ruin the momentum or whatever.
Yeah, I thought you were going to bring that up. That was the next thing I was going to talk about.
I don't know. I just like it's just very. This is where I can see like, I don't want to say rigged, but like they're gonna try to, like you've said it, Jake. Like they want this three-peat to happen, or at least for them to attempt it. So I don't know. I'm just be very. I'm very cautious. I'm be paying attention to these refs, even though I'm not. I've never been that kind of guy, but it's like it was just so obvious.
Yeah. I don't just think the NFL wants to three-peat at the Chiefs. I honestly think the Chiefs are the best team and they're going to make it again. But yeah, you could say that.
All right. Anything else out of week one, guys?
Oh man, Robert, we got that wager, right? So that means we can't. You said at least one episode, right?
At least one. Okay, folks. So here's the wager. Abe and Jake and all the little guest hosts that they bring, they just love to talk about the Cowboys, right? Any chance they get, even if it's not even on topic, they'll derail and go into a tangent. So I bet Abe for the whole season, if there's at least one episode, except when we're talking about picks, of course, where he doesn't talk about the Cowboys at all. And I don't think he can do it. And this doesn't count in January, February when they're not there for the playoffs. So I already told him those episodes won't count. But we'll see if he can do it anytime in the regular season where he won't talk the Cowboys at all, except when we're doing game picks. But we do have to talk about Dak Prescott. And right before the start of the Browns-Cowboys game on Sunday, which had the debut of Tom Brady, which we can talk about, they announced his contract extension, which made him the highest paid NFL player in history for now. You know, the market always changes and somebody always ends up getting higher. But for right now, Dak Prescott, with no championships, no NFC title appearances, I can count the number of playoff wins on my hand, 2. in his entire run, and he got a contract extension. Go ahead, Abe. Go off. I'll allow it for this episode.
Man, what a game, right? How about them Cowboys? The defense?
No. That's not what we're talking. Shut the fuck up. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what you wanted to talk about.
Yes.
You wanted to go off
defense.
on the Dak thing. I don't want to hear about the game.
I want to go off on the game. I want to go off on the defense. I want to go off on that. But before I talk shit about the quarterback, let me give the praise on the defense.
We're not talking about the game, Abe. I'm giving you the exception to talk about Dak.
Yeah, because you know the game was great.
You want to lose the bet?
You're scared. You
want to lose the bet?
Just admit you're scared of Mike.
You want to lose the wager?
Say that you admit that you're scared of Mike. Admit it.
No.
Turpentine, Abe. Turpentine.
Oh, he's hot and cold. He's crawling now, but then he'll be sulking in 2 weeks when Lamar runs on him.
Obviously, for somebody that says that they're a Brady person, you did hear that he is scared of Micah Parsons. So if you
well,
are
that's Brady. I can't help how my QB feels. That's him. I'm talking about me.
Typical Robert. Gosh damn.
But again, this is now stop derailing. What did you want to talk about?
No, but don't say.
No, what did you want to talk about?
No, don't say about me and Tom Brady because it's not you. You're
no.
not.
No. I'm talking about Dak. What you wanted to go off on. That's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm going to talk about right now. And fuck you, Jake. Here we go. Dak Prescott. Are you fucking kidding me? Like they were talking about like the whole like one season like prove it. Like he was still in that 4-year deal, right? Had 143 million or whatever it is. So then they signed him at 11 a.m. right before the kickoff, and they give this guy 31 million. They give him an $80 signing bonus. Here's my thing: is everybody like I had some people say, oh, well, he did get us 12-5 for the past 4 seasons. Who gives a shit? Like I told you, Robert, I'd rather go 9-8 and at least make it to a divisional or a conference round, and then be like, okay, yeah. But to go 12-5, win the division, and then get bounced 2 years by the Packers, like it seems like it's it's the Packers or the 49ers. And last year, you can't tell me that we couldn't beat the Packers. Like really, like Love looked like a damn 8-year veteran, man, like a freaking 8-time Pro Bowler.
A Pro Bowler, like the way you say it.
And you
was that defense?
What happened? And then Jake wants to go and be like, "Oh, it was the defense." Like, dude, like, let me tell you something, Robert. So, remember how we always talk about like when Tom Brady was playing, it's like, oh, who do we trust with the ball that can get us back in the game, that can win us the game, that can get us that drive going? Tom Brady, because he can do it with nobody. After that, it was Joe Burrow. I trust him. After that, I think you and I even agreed that C.J. Stroud can be somebody that we can get the ball to and trust. And look, and he did do it against your Bucks last year. And so, Dak Prescott, guys, I don't trust him. If we're down a score, if we're down 2 scores, I don't trust him. I don't have faith in him to get us back into the game. I do not. And to pay somebody that money that has not proven shit, no way. You can't. And Jake, I don't give a shit what you're going to say right now.
That's fine. I respect your opinion and your Dak hate.
Because
That's
I'm
fine.
not Dak hating. Robert, please, man, tell me. Chime in. Please tell me. If Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud was in a Cowboys uniform with the players that they surround this motherfucker with, tell me that they would not at least make it to the Super Bowl. Tell me.
If with the way they were last year, the way they were playing, Tom Brady would have gotten them to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. And what about the roster now?
It's a little less than what it was. I mean, if CeeDee Lamb goes down, who do you got?
Right, but remember, Tom Brady didn't have anyone though when Edelman was out.
Oh,
well, that's the difference between like Brady and other people is that he knows how to elevate people.
And
like Dak's a good like leader, maybe talker in the locker room, but as far as like elevating players, like extending plays, making stuff out of like chicken shit, like I don't trust him. Like with everything on the line, no.
I don't either.
Okay, Abe. Well, I respect your opinion on that, but I'm going to go on the other side of it as far as Dak earning the contract extension, like Mina Kimes said on ESPN.
Oh, I can't wait for this. Let's go.
All right, folks. So, again, Abe disagrees with the Dak contract. I agree with it. Sure, the past couple of seasons have been really
Based
good
on
for him.
what? Based on what?
I'm saying they've been good seasons overall the past few years that he's been a Cowboy. Sure, we haven't got that far in the playoffs, but it's also been because of either running back issues or defense collapsing or anything like that. Okay,
wait.
hold on.
So it's never the
No.
quarterback's fault, right?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that it wasn't all Dak's fault. I mean, there was the stupid San Francisco thing where we didn't get to the line in time and to spike it and the giving it to the ref. That whole thing was stupid. Sure. But who else would we have again? And this is what I was telling Robert, folks, off air. There is nobody else. What do? We have Cooper Rush starting or something, or we rebuilt the team for the next 5 years and have a 7-10 record and not even make the playoffs for the next 5 years. Nah,
maybe draft the quarterback, which you all haven't done.
Again, that's not guaranteeing. Hold on, Robert. That's not guaranteeing anything. If we draft a quarterback, that will make it.
You could have drafted Brock Purdy, or who else came in the draft late?
Caleb Williams. We don't know what Caleb Williams would do with Chicago. I mean, there's all these what ifs.
So we're not talking about Chicago, though. We're talking about Dak, dude. I know,
but Robert was talking about drafting a quarterback.
Caleb Williams is a better quarterback right now than Dak Prescott.
Right, but how long has Dak been with the Cowboys?
Since 2016.
When was the last time they drafted a quarterback?
Since 2016.
So see, like that's another part of
again. As of right now, there's no quarterbacks that are even there's nothing as far as in the draft.
But there was in these other drafts, Jake. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, there was, but not now.
Last year we could have gotten Bo Nix probably instead of that offensive guy.
Oh, stop it with that. That guy, whatever, in Denver. But that's my argument. That's my argument for Dak. And as far as Abe's,
so your argument is give him the most money because there's nobody else.
Hey, Robert,
that's basically what you said.
Robert,
he's not a bad quarterback.
That's what you said, though.
Robert, doesn't this kind of remind you of the Matt Schaub deal? Like Atlanta, he shined, and then Houston paid him all this money. He went to Houston. He had a couple of good years, but then he was injury prone, and somebody else just came in after him, like the Brock Osweiler. You know, like I kind of feel like he's like a Matt Schaub.
That's not Dak though. Dak's been our quarterback.
It's also kind of like Joe Flacco, but at least Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl out of it, and then they paid him.
Yeah.
But Jake, is that what it comes down to? Is it because there's nobody else will pay him all the money?
Well, they did the same thing with Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl.
There's nobody else, but he's also good, and his stats have shown over the 8 years that he's a good quarterback.
Dude.
Stats for the regular season, that's not what you get paid for. You get paid to win in January, February.
There's been other issues come playoff time. We'll see again. It's like this every
year.
But
Jake, now that they paid CD, now that they paid Dak, and they'll pay Micah. They'll figure it out. But then they're not going to be able to get anybody else. Then what?
That's fine. They need to show out right now with what we have.
So you're all in for like one season. That's it. You're not building for because if Dak were smart, he would take a cut or take like a team-friendly deal, spread the money around, and get players. Because you have a decent team, but you could be a rock star team if these guys aren't greedy and want all the money.
How about
that's why Brady and company was able to sustain length. Even Patrick Mahomes, I'll give him that. He's taking like team deals so they can go get people.
How about this? I saw some other sports analysts saying Dak kind of did take a cut because if he was going to become a free agent, listen.
The highest paid player.
If he was going to become a free agent, they could have shown him the market, and he could have even got more money from what these sports analysts were saying.
No one was going to pay him. No one was going to pay him.
The only dumbass owner that would pay that idiot more money would be the guy in Oakland in Las Vegas. That would be
I could see that.
Or Carolina, maybe. Carolina's not awful.
That was the only team that was even showing interest, even in the start of this season, was the Raiders, because everybody was linking him to the Raiders, which makes sense because they pay outrageous money for players that aren't really worth the shit. So yeah, Dak's a piece of shit.
Okay, keep shitting on Dak. And again, you cannot be a Cowboys
fan. So Jake, based on your analysis of this contract, you're okay. Okay, cool. The contract's good for regular season only. That's it. That's all it's good for.
That's all that
money's good for. No, I'm telling you, that's all that money's good for. Regular season wins.
That's what you think.
That's what it
you
is,
think,
Jake.
because Dak, you in your mind, you see Dak not doing anything this year in the
Okay, so
playoffs. But we don't know.
based on all those years that he's
Who
been there,
cares?
that
The
you
past is
say
the
because
past.
you keep
that
saying
too,
he
Robert.
earned on based on regular season. That's it.
No, just
Right?
based on the years that he's been a Cowboy. And he came back from a major injury and still put up a 12-5 season. So stop.
So did Brady. Brady tore his ACL and came back and won Super Bowls.
Stop talking about Brady. We're not talking about Brady.
But I mean, Jake. I mean, come on,
We're
like
not talking
it's
about
the
Brady.
same thing. Yeah, you
We're
can't
talking about
handle it.
players that are active.
Told you, I'm on
NFL.
another level this season.
No,
On another level.
that's fine.
Yeah. Based on regular season, that's what we're going on.
We'll see what Dak does in the playoffs.
Which is nothing.
We're
And then what?
going.
When he disappoints again, what are you going to say then?
I'm going to be pissed for sure and give him more
And
criticism.
then what? Time loop, same thing next year. We got it. We got it in the bag.
No.
Got you. Yeah. Wipe your mustache and your beard. We're on fire, folks. All right. Anything else? You got that off your chest, Abe?
I got nothing else. Yeah, I'm good.
Nah, that's cool. He's a fake
All
Cowboys fan. Keep
No.
on Dak every week.
Not fake. It's not fake.
Let's talk about you all's fantasy league. How'd you all do week 1? I'm not involved this year. Got other stuff going on. How'd you all do? Y'all like your rosters? Tell me about it.
Abe, go ahead.
Yeah, I lost in like 3 of the 4 leagues.
Yeah, rocked.
I mean, hey, it's. I mean, I got. I don't know. Maybe I drafted wrong. Who knows? But I
forget your other. What about your league? How did you do in your league?
Dude.
I lost to Audra.
Oof.
Congratulations.
It's that Super Bowl hangover, Abe.
Yeah. My players didn't. They didn't really come through. I think.
Who's your starting QB for the audience?
For my league, it's Brock Purdy.
Who are your running backs?
Travis Etienne, Alvin Kamara, and well, I got Chubb, but he's on the injured reserve. So I got four.
Is he still with Cleveland?
Yeah, he's still with Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
But I did pick up Baker Mayfield, and I got Trevor Lawrence.
Nice. Jake, how'd you do?
I actually won, and I was the 3rd lowest scoring team in our league with 89 points, 89 over 70. Man, who's this guy?
Johnny.
Johnny, he's a good guy. It's a good guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Johnny, for rocking you the first week. It was a low-scoring, pitiful game. My starting quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, of course. Derrick Henry, running back.
Jeez, how many points did Aaron Rodgers get you?
10.
Okay.
Mike Evans, 23, receiver. Travis Kelce's my tight end. And I got Aubrey as my kicker, 21 points.
Yeah, he got me 21 in my other league.
Yes, sir.
Who y'all playing this week?
I got the McLaughlin.
Oh, that's Brandon. That's our boy Brandon.
Brando. Yeah.
I'm playing Marcos.
Nice.
What?
What's the early line? Are you projected to win or what?
No, I'm projected to lose by 5.
That Super Bowl hangover.
Man.
Jake?
I'm projected to lose 108 to 122.
That's not bad.
We'll see.
My boy Marcos got Stroud starting.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, against Chicago. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we get to week 2 picks?
Abe?
No. I'm good.
I briefly, we don't have to talk much. How about the Saints just killing the Panthers?
Oh my God.
Like, God awful.
I'm not taking much stock into it.
I'm not.
That's what I mean. I mean, I know you don't like Derek Carr. You've never liked him, really, Robert.
I mean, it's not that. It's just that the Panthers are just god awful.
Oh, and are the Saints that good? Or I mean,
that's why I'm saying, like, I'm really not taking that much stock into that victory.
See, I'm on the other end where I'm really questionable because Derek Carr hasn't always been a scrub until
He's
like the
fine.
past few seasons. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, just wanted to say. And then what now? Bryce Young. I mean, who's the backup in Carolina?
The backup?
I couldn't tell you the
Yeah,
backup. Yeah.
it is.
They'll be drafting a quarterback if this season goes to the shitter, which it looks like it.
Yeah.
They should
Just
have
that blowout.
quarterback instead of that receiver.
Oh
Like
well. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think that'll be nice.
Do you want to get into week 2 already?
Andy Dalton backup, by the way.
Andy Dalton.
What?
Are we ready for week 2, guys?
Let's go week 2.
Week 2.
All right, we're recording this right now on a Thursday, which is the Thursday night game's about to kick off, but none of us have anything looking at it, seeing what's going on, so we'll reveal our picks. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills traveling to face the Miami Dolphins on Amazon Prime. Jake, who do you got in this Thursday night matchup?
No, you're not going to do me like that. I'm going to reveal this on air. All right, folks. So Robert, because he thinks I'm always piggybacking each week, he wants me to reveal all my picks.
No, not reveal all your
first.
picks. You're going to go first whenever we're going through game.
That's what I mean. Yes, that you want me to go first on every pick. So I will be going first, folks. I don't know how long this format's going to go for because I didn't approve of it. I'm just going with it. But for this game, I got the Dolphins for a couple reasons. Jared Allen, he is a superstar quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he has Josh Allen. I'm sorry. Why do I always say Jared Allen? I don't know why I say Jared Allen. But he has not come through in the playoffs a few times and have just he hasn't gotten there. And now without Diggs there, it's even worse for the Bills, in my opinion. And they don't play good in hot weather. They're always in the cold environment. That's another thing. And Tua's actually looking pretty good. He actually, Robert, I was looking at the stats. He's number 1 right now, quarterback passing yards.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, it is shocking in a way.
How they were doing this last season.
I knew you were going to say that too. I knew you were going to say that. Not every game he was like that though.
But for the most part, yeah.
I had the stats for him.
With Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, and Hill and Tua, man. I mean, just them two together. The Dolphins. I had the Dolphins winning tonight against the Bills. Abe?
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Too much offense with Waddle and Hill. Going off of what Jake said, I mean, Josh Allen really doesn't have anybody receiver wise. I mean, I don't even know who they got because they lost Gabe Davis and they lost Diggs. I know they did a couple of trades and got some receivers, but I don't really know who they are. So I think their defense is it's not all there yet. I think they got some players still out. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this one.
I will complete the trilogy here. I will be going with the Dolphins as well for a couple reasons. Jake mentioned weather. That's a part of it. Going down to Florida during this time is going to be brutal for a Northeast team that's used to like all the cold weather. Josh Allen is back to like kind of like the first couple of seasons of his career where it's kind of like all on his back and has to play Superman. Like you mentioned, he has no more Diggs. So, and I think he was throwing to like, I don't know how many different receivers. I couldn't really tell you who they are. And also they were down to Arizona in week 1. So it might be a lot of that trying to play catch up. And don't get me wrong, like Josh Allen's a superstar quarterback, but this high powered Miami offense, like right now early, and they were embarrassed also in the playoffs. I know it was like the coldest weather game ever, but they want to make a statement. They want to secure some home playoff games come January, February. So I'm going Miami.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, next up, let's move on to Sunday. And we're going to start with the San Francisco 49ers traveling to face the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams 1-0. Jake, who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a easy one. I mean, most people. I'm gonna go with Paco's 49ers. We know, of course, Brock Purdy. He isn't a scrub or a chump. He's actually pretty good. He's gonna bring it, of course. Then you got Debo Samuel. Man, they were throwing a lot to Debo Samuel that first game, and he was actually at the running back position. They utilized him there again, like they did last season a little bit. That was cool seeing
Mm.
that. Ayuk got that contract, didn't really do too much. We'll see if he comes out a little more against the Vikings. 49ers defense, pretty good. I know Robert was praising the Vikings, Sam Darnold, but I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, I got 49ers. And maybe get some more out of what's his name, the tight end for the 49ers.
Kittle.
Kittle?
Kittle. Yeah, I knew who it was. I just haven't brain for it. Yeah, they didn't use Kittle too much that first game, so hopefully we see Kittle get some more receiving. But I got 49ers.
Well, that's the thing with me. The 49ers are stacked, Jake, so that's why you probably don't see like one player in particular just dominating. I got the Niners over the Vikings, even though the Vikings are kind of like my surprise pick for this season to kind of maybe, I don't want to say they're not going to go like 12, 13 wins, but they'll have a couple of wins up their notch with Sam Darnold at the helm, getting like his second real chance to be QB for a team. 49ers look great against the Jets. Jets have a really solid defense, and they were able to do whatever they want Monday night. And yeah, they look already in playoff form. No Christian McCaffrey, no problem, man. That backup, what was it, Jason
Shout out to
Mason.
that guy.
Mason.
Yeah.
Mason? What's his last name?
Mason.
Jordan Mason. Is that his name?
Yeah, Jordan Mason.
He just got plugged in there like nothing. So that's pretty scary. And once McCaffrey comes back into play, like there's a 1-2 punch there. And then of course all the weapons that Purdy's got at his disposal. This Niners team is prime and ready to make another Super Bowl run. This is it. This is the year to do it. Even though, like me personally, I'm done with them. They had their chance in the Super Bowl and they couldn't get it done. Sorry, Paco, but I'll never forgive the 49ers for not winning this past Super Bowl. Getting away from Christian McCaffrey. Oh, it still bothers me to this day. Whatever. It's not my team. I have no stakes, but Niners on Sunday. Who do you got in?
Yeah, the Niners on defense look pretty good. Bosa, if he can stay healthy, he's a wrecking force. I like their corners. They are playing in Minnesota. I do like the whole Justin Jefferson. I think Addison's going to play. I know he got hurt in the first game. I think they're going to be all right. I think.
Let me ask you, Abe, do you think this game is going to be competitive?
Yes. I think it's kind of. I think this is going to be another game where, like I said, the Niners are good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Vikings. And I'm going to go with the Vikings because I think Sam Darnold has that confidence right now. Like you said, Robert, they're not going to win 12 or 13, but I think they're going to be to where it's like, okay, we don't miss Kirk Cousins, or we didn't really need him, but and they still got the players intact, and they also upgraded since they lost Dalvin Cook. They upgraded that running back area with I can't remember his name. The guy he came from Green Bay. Oh, Aaron Jones. So I think he was in a little bit of a funk. He got a hard time going, but I think he's going to go now. He's going to get into it, and I like the Vikings in this one, only because, like I said, Sam Darnold looks like he's playing with confidence, and I think I think he might this might be something where they squeak by maybe by a point.
Interesting. I like it for my narrative as far as like the Vikings being a surprise. So I like that pick, Abe. Look at you going out on a limb. I like it. All right. We good with this game?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to face the New England Patriots. Again, both teams 1-0. Jake, who do you got in this game?
Yeah, I'm over here smirking, folks.
Why?
I got because I can't believe I'm going to say it. I got the Patriots.
Patriots are going to go 2-0? All right.
I got Robert's Patriots.
Super Bowl back on, baby.
Yeah. They proved themselves beating Cincinnati the first week. They They had no business winning that game. I don't know if Burrow collapsed or what happened, where they just gave him the game, or I have to look at that one again. But Roberts Patriots, Geno Smith Seahawks though, don't count them out at quarterback. How's their defense, Robert? The Seahawks defense pretty good.
I mean, I know, yeah, Pete Carroll's not there anymore, but he's still got an influence on that organization. Same as like Bill Belichick still having an influence over the Patriots.
Yeah, I got the Patriots though. Abe, write it down.
Who do you got, Abe?
All right. Impressive win by the Pats in the first game. I mean, shoot, man, Gerard Mayo stuff. I mean, Brissett as the quarterback. I like him, Robert. I talked last year as well when he was with the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's good. He's a good player. They got the 32nd ranked offense, the Pats, and Seattle's defense I think is like in the teens. I think Seattle's going to go ahead and bring them down to cloud nine from that first win against the Bengals, and I'm going to go with the Seahawks only because Geno Smith and Brissett. I think Geno's the better quarterback out of the two, and he's got better weapons and he's got a defense that can help him out. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Seattle.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like this is not going to be like the Patriots Seahawks we've seen in recent years with Brady and Russell and, these high powered offenses and defenses. I think it's going to be old school, very ugly defensive game. Patriots it was just a classic Patriots defensive game against the Bengals. Great tackling, gritty, getting after the quarterback. I think they're going to be able to put some pressure on Geno Smith. It's a question of which offense is going to be able to make that one play. And as much as I love Brissett, I think Geno he's got better weapons, obviously with Lockett and Metcalf. So yeah, I can see them making one more play, but it's not going to be a high scoring game. I can see like 14-10, 17-12, maybe something like that. But I got the Seahawks.
Right.
Good, Jaco?
Yes, sir.
You're the only one that believes in my Pats, so I appreciate that. I'm a realistic fan, so. All right. Next up, we got it's the New York Football Giants traveling to face the Washington Commanders. This is going to be a interesting one. Jake, who do you got?
This is America's.
And I swear to God, if you call that quarterback by that name, if you do, like, I'm done with you.
Yeah, folks. Like I said, America's stinker game of the week: Giants at Commanders. Yeah, both teams they're looking very bad. I have the Commanders for this week, just because, of course, Daniel Jones, he didn't look good the first week. AKA,
he hasn't looked good in can't even remember the last time he looked good.
I don't even know who the running back is. I can't even name the Giants running back. The Commanders, they got that rookie. What is his name? Jaden Daniels?
Correct.
How did he look, Gabe, the first week against the Bucks?
It looked pretty good. Looked better than Dak.
Fuck out of here. Anyway, yeah, I got Commanders. Take that one down, Abe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it real short and sweet, Robert. The Giants, they're just a dumpster of what is it? A dumpster fire or a fire?
Yeah. It's between them and Carolina right now for worst team in the league.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Commanders. Jaden Daniels is a way better quarterback than Danny. What's his name? What's
Daniel
his name?
Jones.
Daniel
Jones.
Yeah.
I swear, if any of y'all give him that nickname again or say that nickname, I'm gonna revoke your football card.
It will. The nickname comes back when they start winning, if they do.
Okay.
I go Commanders.
I'm gonna go Commanders also. The Commanders did show some fight in that. I know it was garbage time against the Bucks. The Bucks really handled them easily, but Jaden Daniels did have I believe it was 2 rushing touchdowns, and he was also scrambling a lot, which is something that I think that they don't want him to do. I think I saw Dan Quinn talking about that's not really the game plan. But you also got to play to his strengths. He's also like, we don't know if he's going to be like Lamar Jackson, but that's the type of player he is. And if you want to keep him in the pocket, that guy might get destroyed because I don't know. I don't really trust their offensive line. I know they got some decent weapons. They'll get some wins, obviously, and this one they should come out easily on top. So, Commanders. All right, let's move on. Next game is the Los Angeles Chargers with Jim Harbaugh leading the charge, traveling to face the Carolina Panthers. Jaco, who do you got?
Easily Chargers. Harborough being there seems to be making somewhat of a little impact on the team as a whole.
Hell yeah,
Herbert, Herbert, of course, that's one of my guys. I like Herbert, quarterback, quite a bit. I think he's been good, but he's dealing with some injury prone stuff with his arm, his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the running back for Chargers, Abe?
It's the Ravens backfield from last year, Dobbins and Gus.
Oh, Gus Edwards or whatever.
Yeah, Gus Edwards. It's Edwards and Dobbins.
Yeah. The Panthers, if Bryce Young doesn't show some kind of life out there, they're gonna get killed again. So I easily got the Chargers.
I got the Chargers as well. I liked what I saw out of them on Sunday, even though it was like ugly. But that's the kind of football that Jim Harbaugh plays, very physical, gritty. Like that's a game last year that the Chargers lose, right? And the game doesn't have to be on Herbert's back anymore. You can just hand it off and also trust the defense a little bit to make some plays. So Jim Harbaugh's already has a strong influence based on like just how this game would have gone for the Chargers last season. So he's going to be great. I can't wait to see him go up against the Chiefs. That's going to be some good like head coach who can outsmart the other. It's great to have Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL, and they should easily pound on the Panthers here. So I got them winning big.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. Yeah, the Panthers. I mean, I think they're relying mostly on Thielen. And yeah, I don't think that guy is what he used to be back in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, so
hey, who's the Panthers running back, Gabe?
Dude, it's Chuba Hubbard, but he really didn't do crap either. So yeah, I think the Chargers will just annihilate them too.
All right, a sweep of the Chargers from all of us. Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints traveling to face the Dallas Cowboys at Jerry World. Jaco, who do you got?
This is America's game of the week, folks. No, I don't know. Probably.
No, it's not.
I got my Cowboys, of course, coming off that 33-17 win against the Browns. A lot of people were favoring the Browns to win, thinking Deshaun Watson was going to be back to normal after a few years of, going Houston. We're seeing that he's not that same Watson. Dallas, our defense is looking really good, which is good. But again, it's so early. It's the first game of the season. We saw how they collapsed against Green Bay in the playoffs last year, so I'm not hyped too much on the defense right now. Sorry.
Yet.
Zeke looks like he didn't look bad. We got Dowdle. Hopefully they utilize Dowdle a little more. I was telling Robert off air, Lamb needs to get more receiving yards. I think he had 60 with no touchdowns, which is kind of crazy. Cooks look good. What else? Who else is there? Did our tight end have a touchdown, Abe?
No, he's hurt.
No. Yeah, and he got hurt. That's not good. Yeah, that's gonna hurt us a little bit. On the other end, the Saints, I'm gonna give some praise to Derek Carr. He's never been a super scrub or anything. He's always been decent. He threw pretty good. I think I had it written down. He had a few touchdowns, quite a good bit of yards. I'm going to go with the Cowboys, of course. I'm not going to pick them every week.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Robert?
Uh,
I'll let Abe go. I went first after you went last time.
The Saints lost Michael Thomas. They don't really. They're going to rely on Chris Olave, and I'm surprised Michael Thomas is still out there. The Cowboys are stupid. They should just pick this guy anyway. Derek Carr looked like
they don't have money.
Old, but I mean that's against the Panthers, so of course they made him look like a Pro Bowler. So it's not going to happen this week. But I will say that the Saints picking up Chase Young and my guy, Jadeveon Clowney,
Oh,
gee,
He's
that was
still out there.
that was pure genius right there. But I'm gonna go with the Cowboys because, like I said, they don't. I mean, the only person I kind of worry about is Kamara, and they might be able to contain him. But Derek Carr, yeah, they're gonna, and then with that other piece of shit guy, what's his name, Hill?
Taysom Hill.
God, I can't
yeah,
stand. Him. And yeah,
he's still there.
he's not going to be a factor either. I'm not really worried about this game. I'm going to go Cowboys though.
Yeah.
All right, I got the Cowboys as well, and I have for two
Oh,
reasons. For two reasons. Shut up. I always tell it like it is. So first, the Cowboys are the better team. They got the better squad and the defense. They're going to bring the Saints back down to earth. They're going to make Derek Carr. They're going to chase him around. I don't know if they're going to make him cry like that one game where they tried to pick him up and he was crying. But it's going to be a rough day for Derek Carr. He had some great highlights in week one, but again, it was against the Panthers, who look just god awful and made them look like a Super Bowl team, which I don't think the Saints are. So that just for all those reasons, the Cowboys will win. But on the second note, the Saints are in the NFC South, and them and the Bucks right now are 1-0. I'll take any losses that the Saints can get. So don't fail me,
Narrative.
Cowboys. Don't fail me.
Narrative.
But I told you that was reason 2, not reason 1. So calm down. Anything else, Jacob, with your Cowboys?
Nah, I'm ready for.
Is it going to be competitive or a squash?
you better not fucking say squash.
I think it'll start off competitive and then it'll be a
Oh my god.
destruction.
Okay. Are you guys good?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm good
Yeah,
with the
of course.
game.
I work all day again at work on Sunday. Shout out to my manager Louis, appreciate it. So I'll miss my game.
Does he even listen to the show?
Huh?
Does he listen to the show?
No.
You got to market it, dude.
Yeah, man. Get us that plug over there.
Yeah,
Well,
tell
I
your
mean now he might. I mean now that I told him I need Wednesdays off every Wednesday for us when we do our shows.
All right,
That's it.
let's move on from this game. All right, next up we got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to face the Green Bay Packers. Just want to give you this preface, Jake, just in case you don't know. We really don't know what the status is on Jordan Love. Supposedly he's supposed to be out a few weeks, but then the coach, I don't know if he's just playing games. He was like, "Oh, we're not sure yet on what we're going to do at quarterback." So, just want to give you that heads up. But who do you got this week?
Appreciate that. No, I hadn't heard about that, but yeah, the last thing I heard that Jordan was going to be out for 4 weeks. Like you said, around 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
This one's
It's an
tough.
MCL sprain. It's an MCL sprain, not a tear. So
Who's the backup A for Packers?
it's Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis.
Never heard of the guy. The Packers defense is going to really have to step up here for any chance of the Packers to win this game. Sorry, little Steven. The Packers are going to lose this game more than likely. I got the Colts. I looked a little bit of the Colts highlights. They look pretty good against. I think it was they played the Texans, right?
They're going to be a good team. They're going to be a
Yeah,
good
they
team.
look pretty good. So yeah, Colts.
I got the Colts here, and just like last season, I've been a big fan of the coach Shane Steichen. I think he's for real. He's got this squad up and coming. Anthony Richardson back from injury last season. He had an incredible throw in that game against the Texans. Like that guy's got an arm on him. I know he's still kind of raw, so we really don't know what kind of quarterback he's going to be at. But the Colts will be viable. So anybody that plays the Colts this season, it's going to be competitive. I have a lot of upside for this team, even though the Colts are not usually a team that I usually like just based on history, but they've got a good upside here. But I got the Colts winning. Abe?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts. I like Anthony Richardson as well, and Taylor as well. Their defense is pretty. It's all right. It's not too bad. And I mean, like I said, with the Packers, I mean, if it's Malik Willis, they're going to probably rely on Josh Jacobs a lot. So I'm going to go Colts.
All right. We are good with this game. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jake, who do you got?
Yeah, after what happened as far as Dallas putting the beat down on the Browns, If Watson doesn't have a bounce back week to show that they actually have life in Cleveland, they're going to get killed by the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence looked pretty good. I did see some highlights for the Miami Jaguars game. I was kind of wrong about his arm, man. He has an arm. He was throwing some deep balls. They're looking pretty good. If Trevor doesn't get hurt or anything like that, how's their defense? Jaguars defense pretty good.
I mean, it's all right.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
I'm going to say this real quick. I'm going to say this real quick. Get it out of the way. Deshaun Watson's washed. He's done. Like, I just think this guy doesn't know what he's doing anymore. He's distracted. You can tell there's another lawsuit pending against him, and he may end up being done in the league. This may be a way for Cleveland to get out of it. They're hoping that it probably sticks because there is a way out of that contract if something comes to light with this allegation.
Interesting.
So I'm going to just throw it out of the way. I think the Jaguars will win. Abe?
What do you got, Jake? You had the Jaguars or the Browns?
Jaguars?
Yeah.
Jaguars.
I'm going to go the Jaguars as well. Trevor Lawrence, Robert, yeah. I mean, they were even saying, like, is Deshaun Watson washed? And, man, it sucks, man, because he was really good in Houston, and then all this crap happened, and it just, I don't know. I mean, like, maybe too much. I have no idea.
Change of man, especially the allegation.
I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. He's the better quarterback. And I think, the Jaguars defense isn't all that good, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to give this guy some pressure.
All right. We good on this game?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got the New York Jets traveling to face the Tennessee Titans. I'm sorry. I need to get this out of the way. The Titans, did y'all watch that play of Levis where he threw like
of course.
Just the worst pass in the history of the game and threw it for a pick six? And there's like a meme of him like on his knees with his hands on his helmet. It's like the funniest thing, man. Like, I mean, not even Jake would have thrown that pass. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, did you see that play?
Yes. It was god awful.
Oh my god!
What was he thinking? Couldn't he just went down with it? Like,
he should have just thrown it away or thrown out of bounds or whatever. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Jake, who do you got in this game?
Yeah, it was bad. Besides that, though, I mean, they were up at 1.17-3 on the Bears, so they had it for a little while, but then it just was garbage after that. But yeah, I'm easily going with the Jets. I still have love for Aaron. I think he got a little loose in game one against San Francisco. He's going to get it going.
Get that one good drive.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about that off air. He's going to get more of that going throughout the season, but it's still early. But I think the Jets, they squeak by against the Titans. The Jets defense will actually do a lot better than they did against the 49ers. Hopefully he connects more with Wilson. I got the Jets. Abe?
I'm going to go with the Jets. I mean, of course, I think Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Levis. And I think he's going to get in tune. He's going to get it going. This is going to be the game where kick starts that. So I'm going to go with the Jets. I don't really have much to say on that Titans.
Yeah, the Jets can't afford to go 0-2. The rest of the AFC East won their week one matchup, including the Patriots. So I think they're going to be more on the ball. The defense will obviously rebound. And Aaron's got to get more players involved. Lazard's got to get in there. I know he's got Garrett Wilson. That's a superstar, but it can't just be that. Like, we saw that one incredible drive, but it was just literally Rodgers to Wilson, like that entire drive, and they got it done. But he's got to get other players involved. And I know he gets frustrated real easily. And, you can see him when he looks to the camera. It looks like he's in an episode of The Office where just like, I can't believe I'm here. But I expect the Jets to play a lot better. I mean, again, they played the 49ers, who are already like a Super Bowl contender. So, I mean, the result was expected. I know y'all are super high on the Jets, but I saw that game coming a mile away on Monday. Like, that was the kind of game I was expecting. Like, the Niners are just a force, even though I don't trust them anymore to win the big one. But yeah, Jets on Sunday. Next up is the first of three game of the weeks, folks. For the audience, this is going to be my game of the week. It's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to face the Detroit Lions, a rematch of the NFC divisional round. I can't believe this is a noon game, and I can't believe that it's not like prime time or the America's Game of the Week slot at 3, because this is probably one of the better games of week 2. Jake, I'm going to take the reins here for this game first, just because it's my game of the week, and we'll do the same for Abe. He'll go first on his, and then you'll go first on yours. But for the rest of the games, you will go first. For this one, very interesting. Both teams 1-0, coming off impressive wins. The Lions are not the Lions of old. You know, the Rams played them well, even though in the second half the Rams were like doing whatever they wanted to against that defense. Even though they were depleted, they lost Puka Nacua, they lost like some offensive linemen. Basically, the Lions just tired them out. Like they ran out of people at the end, so the Lions were able to squeak out that win. But their offense is high powered. They got that 2-headed running back. They got Amar St. Brown. The Bucks, Baker is looking like the MVP. You know, he's got Godwin and Evans already in mid-season form. The only thing that worries me about the Bucks right now is their secondary is completely depleted. Bunch of injuries right now, so I'm expecting this game to be super high scoring because I don't trust either of the defenses right now. I think it's going to be rough for the Bucks here on the road again. Detroit has become like a really hard place to play. It gets really loud there. If Baker can play the way he did Sunday, I can see the Bucks winning. But with that secondary shredded, I think the Rams are going to be able to score just a bit more and then finish it off with the run game with that 2-headed monster. So as much as I love the Bucks, and again, I'll be happy if they win. I don't care if I lose this pick, but I got to go Lions very slightly. But it's going to be probably the best game of the week, in my opinion. Jake?
Andrew. Yep. I'm gonna go on I'm gonna agree with you. I got Detroit winning. Goff and them boys, man. Coach Campbell. He's brought some, intensity to that locker room as a coach. All the players respect him. He's probably my favorite coach in the NFL, actually. But yeah, Detroit's offense is loaded, and like I said, Goff is no scrub.
I just don't like their defense. That's the only thing. The Rams did whatever they wanted in that second half.
And but it isn't it's not god awful. The Lions defense.
Jake, they were missing like so many players, and like the Rams outplayed them.
Yeah, I mean Stafford did throw for 317, but he did throw a pick. But yeah, I was saying the Bucks though, like Baker. I mean Robert was really going crazy about Baker doing really good against a Washington team that was, And he
same thing for the Cowboys. No, you know what? Let's talk about that real quick. I'll be honest. Okay, the Commanders weren't the best team, but also like Baker did what he was supposed to do, right? So how come Dak couldn't do it on the other end? Like when the way he all destroyed like the Browns, Baker threw 4 touchdowns, basically only 6 drop passes, 24 of 30, 289 yards, 4 TDs. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, yes, it was against a bad team, but also like he put up the stats that he was supposed to put his team in position to win. Did Dak do that?
We won the game.
I mean, at least be fair about that. So you want to shit on me and say like, the Bucks beat nobody. Like same thing for the Cowboys.
Yes, but we didn't know that going into. We didn't think, maybe you did, that Deshaun was going to be washed up.
No, I went into it thinking that the Browns defense was going to be the way it was last year, and it wasn't. That's what I didn't give a shit about Deshaun. I knew he wasn't going to be good. I was going based on the defense.
Maybe our offense was just really good, which it looked.
No, but again, stop going away from it. How come you can say that about my team, but your team is like, oh yeah, destruction, everything's great.
Well, I'll say two reasons.
Give me Dak's numbers. What do you do?
Yeah, I wrote it down actually. He didn't do well. 19 for 32 pass completions, only 179 yards with 1 touchdown.
So do you see where I hype up Baker more and you're like, I don't get it? Well, because he put up numbers and won.
I understand that. But again, that as far as, Dak needed to perform better. I'm not going to lie. Like It was just an overall.
I'm
good
just trying to
team
understand
effort.
why you're like, oh well, they played nobody, but you can just say like, yeah, we won, yeah, it was great, but not really say like that other team was kind of garbage.
Well, because I can't say that the Browns actually were garbage. I thought they were going to be decent, but
Well,
they're
the
like you
same
said,
thing. Then I guess you can say the same thing about the Commanders. No, isn't it the same thing? What's the difference?
well, and I guess the second thing would be that the Bucks played at home, but I don't know how much of a factor that has. And
Home field doesn't mean anything anymore
and
unless
Baker
you're
has
like
Mike
in
Evans, and
Seattle,
Baker and Mike Evans was
huh?
scoring everywhere and doing. Mike Evans was getting receptions and killing it. Godwin, right? Mike Evans more though.
Yeah, but then you say this. You say like, "Oh, CD Lamb's the best receiver in the league." Okay, cool. Like, where are
Cool,
Dak's
but
touchdowns?
but where was he? Yeah, exactly. CD only had 60 yards, not even a touchdown. That needs to change.
So again, I ask you, how come it's okay for you to be like, "Oh, the Bucks played nobody," but you don't say anything when it comes to the Cowboys?
I
Thank
should
you.
have just said I
Next.
should have just said that the Browns were nobodies because that's what I thought going into it originally. But
So
I
you
try to give
can't
the
go on
benefit of the doubt.
you can't go on preconceived notions. You have to go on what you saw on the field. The Browns were trash.
Yeah, they were. I'll admit. Overall, they were
Okay.
trash. They didn't start
So
the
you admit
game trash.
that?
They didn't
So
start
I can
trash.
say I can say the same thing to you then, right? The Cowboys really beat nobody, right?
As of
You're
right
gonna
now,
say
yeah.
it about my team, but at least my guy put up numbers and touchdowns and look
Oh,
at the best stats of the week.
yeah, you can say that, and I know you're going to say that. And I already called you out about it. You're going to say that about the Saints as well because it's true. But go ahead. That's fine.
I'm just trying to make some solid ground and like,
No, I agree. Okay, cool. I see what you're saying. Fine.
cool. Abe,
I'm gonna go with the Lions. They're playing at home.
son of a bitch. None of y'all believe in the Bucks.
No, I gotta go. I gotta go with the Lions here. They got too much power, offensive power. I don't really have much to say on this one. I'm gonna go with the Lions. Real quick, Robert.
Not really much to say. What
I
kind
mean,
of football fan are you? These are two teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
what do you want me to say? Because of what Baker Mayfield did against the Commanders. I mean,
But you're not even going to say anything about the Lions?
Oh,
I said that they have a high powered offense. It's too much.
That's all you have to say?
It's too much offense.
Did you watch the divisional game last year? That was a great game.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I bet you didn't watch it. Y'all didn't watch.
This year. You just want me to be on high and be like, oh yeah, Baker Mayfield, get the.
No, I was expecting that classic Abe
no, I get
analysis. You know, all these players. You're going to name all these players and tell us like what they're about, and not much to say. But you had shit to say about, I don't know, the damn freaking 49ers and Vikings. Oh,
hey, that's a game to watch. To look for.
I'm losing faith in you. Maybe you're losing it.
No, I think you're being like the Dolphins right now, laying in
Maybe, or maybe I just expect more out of you. How about that?
Oh, thanks, Robert.
I don't have much. Jake had more to say than you.
Jake's a stats guy, man. That's all he knows is stats.
Oh Lord,
with his little Macintosh in front of him.
All right, let's move on. Next up, we got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to face the Baltimore Ravens. Jake, who do you got?
Oh shit!
Sadly, the Raiders are going to get stomped on. I had faith in Gardner Minshew. I'm losing it. They don't have much. Their Raiders defense.
Gardner Minshew.
Do what?
It's Gardner, not Garden.
Minshew.
You said Gardner Minshew.
Well, I meant to say Gardner Minshew. If I did say it, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, Minshew.
So you got Ravens or Raiders?
Yeah, I got the Ravens, man. Lamar is going to bounce back from week 1, and Derrick Henry is going to probably run all over Raiders. So we'll see.
Abe, do you have analysis for this game?
Yeah, the Raiders being stupid in the draft, getting Brock Bowers instead of getting a quarterback. I'm not too sure what happened there. I think they were trying to rely on Minshew and Aiden Mitchell or whatever. I feel bad for Devontae Adams, but the Ravens are playing at home. It's loud. It's crazy there in Baltimore, and I think Lamar and Derrick Henry will get this going. I think Zay Flowers is going to get more involved in the game, and they got to get Mark Andrews involved as well because they used him more as a blocker, as an offensive guy in the first game instead of just using him as the weapon that he is. So I mean, I feel bad for Max Crosby, man. Like he's getting paid. He got his contract, but what a waste on being on that team. I mean, I'd like to see him on the Bucks or something, you know? I don't know, but
Well,
either way,
you saw him get frustrated in that Chargers game, that fight that broke out at the end. Like,
yeah,
it was pretty wild.
I feel bad. I think that guy leaves in about another year or two, but I'm going to go Ravens bounce back.
I got the Ravens as well. They're going to be a good team. They're like, so there's two teams in the AFC that are like the Dallas Cowboys of the NFC. And I mean that for the AFC. So it's the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens, where they put up a lot of regular season wins and maybe even get some MVP votes. Like Dak was in the MVP race. Lamar, obviously MVP last year. They'll do well in the regular season, but then crumble in January when it counts. So I'm not worried about the Ravens in the regular season. So they'll win big here, and Lamar will have a huge game. Enough said.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we finally got a 3:00 game. Those were all the noon games. That was a bunch of noon games.
Damn.
Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to face the Arizona Cardinals. Jake, who do you got? A lot of players hurt on the Rams. Just remember.
Interesting.
I think the spread is only like. I think the Cardinals are favored by 1.5, or the Rams. It's one way or the other, but either way, the spread is short.
But Stafford's good to go, right? As far as I saw.
Yeah, he's playing.
Yeah. That's the one I didn't see really too much of. Week 1 Cardinals and whoever they played week 1.
They were up against the Bills.
Oh, that was that game. I don't know. I have to see what Kyler Murray brings week 2 and the rest of that offensive front. I got the Rams though. Stafford didn't look bad. He had, like I was telling you earlier, he threw for like 370 yards. He looked pretty good. I like what I saw from the Rams. But what's his name? Pakua or whatever?
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua. Yeah, he's hurt, like Robert said, injuries. So that's going to hurt the Rams. But they still got, Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, but Cooper, yeah.
Yeah, he was thrown to Abe, and he looked okay. I can see the tandem of Stafford and Cooper being good enough to beat this team. You know, like I said, the Rams were able to do whatever they wanted against the Lions in that second half, and they were shredded. So I can see this being high scoring. We'll see if we see more out of Marvin Harrison Jr. There was like barely any noise. There's an APB out for him on. He's supposed to be like the big star player for the Cardinals, and we didn't really see much from him. So I'm expecting high scoring, but I can see the Rams taking it here. Abe?
Yeah. I was excited about that Marvin Harrison Jr. guy because he's supposed to be like this, speedster and this dominant receiver and stuff like that. Kind of like a DeAndre Hopkins, right? And we didn't see that.
Yeah.
It was more like James Conner of the old from Pittsburgh. And I don't know, Robert. I looked at Kyler Murray. He just looks so funny. He reminds me of Doug Flutie a little bit, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I know they're banged up, but I'm gonna go with the Rams because they still got that tight end Higbee, and they got Cooper Kupp.
And they got the better coach.
Yeah, and I mean Cooper Kupp is not the Cooper Kupp of the Super Bowl, but he's actually a better option. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. Even though they're playing in Arizona, but I'm going to go Rams.
All right. We're all on the Rams. Next up is Abe's game of the week. It is if this were on Fox, this would probably be America's game of the week. It's the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to face the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Burrow's like 3-1 against Mahomes, or 4-1, 4-2, something like that. Take it away, Abe. This is your game of the week.
Man, so talk about like redemption, like the Bengals losing to the Pats in the first game. I was watching the last preseason game, Cincinnati, and when Burrow didn't play, and they asked him something like, is this affecting you, or is this going to affect you? Like, how is your thumb? Like, because he was saying like his thumb like was a little bit sore during that game, and he
Uh,
said, well, it's not really going to affect me, and I felt like it kind of is still affecting him. I think the whole thing with, let me tell you something real quick, Robert. I'm going to go a little bit off, not off topic, but I'm going to go in relation to this team, the Bengals, with these players wanting contracts and they want like demands and they want it like now. Like, why can't we just, you know, you got a deal, right? You're on I feel like they should play that rookie deal. And then after that, like after the season, then let's talk about it, but when they do this, like whole, like
yeah.
I'm out and I might play or I might not play. It's up to me. Like Robert, the NFL shouldn't let these players dictate like, well, I'm going to play, and I know they're finding them. They're doing the fines, but when they get that payday, it's not going to matter in the end, whatever the fines are.
Right.
But in this game, this sport, and even with basketball too, but staying on track here with the NFL, it needs to be like, stop with that. Like, can we just play the sport? Like, if you're making money, you're getting money, then show it again. Because I feel like when you pay these guys, they just
Mhm.
don't produce. Like, it's kind of like, well, I got the bag. Like Dak, he got 230 million guaranteed, you know?
Okay.
It's just like okay, so now let's see what happens. I'm not saying he's gonna do that, but I'm just saying like these players, they get this money, and then it's just like, well, shit, I got my money, so I mean, if we win, we win. We don't, we don't. And I feel like some of those players have that mindset, going into the season. But with Jamar Chase, I think that threw them off because I was reading on it leading up. I think it was like a Friday night, and he didn't practice at all that week leading up to the game. And it was just like, he was like, well, I may or may not play. And it's like, dude, like, this is, the season. Yeah, it's the first game, but you got to give it your all. And I think with Jamar Chase, him doing that, I think he still played, but he wasn't really productive. And I think it kind of throws your team off as far as being, ready for the game, because you're kind of like, well, is our star player going to play? Because I know, who's the other guy? The other receiver,
Higgins.
Higgins, he's injured. And there's even reports of him saying that the fans are saying that he's faking that Achilles injury. And they lost somebody else, right? He went to Tennessee. I can't remember his name. Tyler Boyd. And he
Well,
was
they don't
also,
have they also don't have Mixon anymore
yeah,
either.
they traded Mixon. So they don't have that run. So I think all of that like kind of factored in and it kind of just threw them out of whack. So, going into this game, you're playing in Arrowhead again, or not again, but the Chiefs are playing at home. And I think the Bengals, correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, I think this is the game where if they don't win it, then are you panicking? Like, what's going on? Like, is the season kind of, I mean, yeah, they'll be down 0-2, but is this something more like, Chase? Is there more, I mean, more worries about Burrow's health? I'm going to go with the Bengals on this game because I know the Chiefs won the last game and everybody's pounding their chest on that Xavier Worthy, and he's a great guy. He's from Texas. He's a Longhorn, and that's great. But I think the Bengals are going to probably snap out of this. I think that Pats loss kind of maybe bummed them, but I think they're going to come out of this, and I think they're going to take this win. I think Burrow is okay, and I think he's going to redeem himself. So I'm going to go with the Bengals here.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Chiefs, and only because I think this is kind of the
Wow.
MO for the Bengals.
Okay. Okay.
It's the MO for the Bengals. They always start slow. And right now they're too distracted with all these different things. So, but I think by mid-season, like I said, when we get to like mid-October, early November, this team's gonna like be what it usually is, and that's like super competitive. I'm not saying this game's not going to be competitive, but like right now there's too many distractions, and like I said, Burrow always gets off to like a rough start, even like early, like that one year where they lost against the Cowboys, but they ended up making the Super Bowl. And y'all just, I remember Jay counting them out. It's like, oh, well, the Cowboys beat them. Like, yeah, but that was also like super early in the season. It meant nothing. Like, They'll figure it out. They always do. I think it's going to come down to the wire. It always does with these teams, even though Higgins may not be playing, Jamar will be playing better. And obviously they were what was it? The Patriots. It was like they were the biggest underdog, and there hasn't been that big of an underdog to win like in 8 years. So they'll bounce back and play a lot better. So, but I still got the Chiefs edging them out at home. Jake?
Yeah, easily. Mahomes and the Chiefs. He just has too many weapons. There's no injuries.
Too many weapons. What are you talking about?
Kelsey, Pacheco, a lot of weapons besides just them two. Worthy, like you guys said earlier, mentioned. He's loaded with the receiving core. What are you talking about, Robert? You laugh like he doesn't have weapons? Like, what are you talking about? He has like the best receivers.
Yeah,
man.
but you laugh and say easily like this team has never given them trouble.
It is gonna. I mean, and we don't know how Joey. That's what I'm laughing at. Because we don't know how your boy Joey B is gonna be. If he's gonna be injury prone like he always is, or how is he gonna look? Is he gonna be out?
He'll show up. This is the Brady Manning.
This is what I'm talking about.
If Joe Burrow is injured by halftime,
just on Xavier Worthy, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Anyways, if Joe Burrow is injured by halftime, that's it, Robert. I'm done.
Oh my god.
Easily Chiefs take it down.
He's not even injured. I don't know why you keep saying injured. Like he's not.
Why do you keep saying injury prone? Like
he's injury prone.
Shit. Like I trust him to take my team and bring them back from behind.
How are you picking the Bengals over the Chiefs?
But what do you mean though? Like you just say like, oh, easy win. Like this is easy.
It should be.
Like the Panthers. Like what the fuck do you mean?
No. That's not. No. That's destruction. That's
what is it going to be? Is it going to be 40-3?
No, I see. Now you are just no. I meant easy win. Like Mahomes is still going to win the game easily, but it's not going to.
So 24-21 is not an easy win.
Nah, I'm thinking more like 24-14.
Oh my god!
Mark it down, Abe Chiefs for me.
24-14.
All right.
God damn.
All right. Any more on your game of the week?
No, I'm good.
All right. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to face the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix. Jake, who do you got?
Interesting one. I don't know if Wilson will be playing this game or not. I think they'll stick with Justin Fields.
Nope. He's not playing.
Russell.
Oh, of course, Russell. Anyway, so Justin Fields, I said it, and when he was in Chicago, he wasn't a scrub based off some of the games I saw him play. He's a decent quarterback. He's not like a star or anything, but he's decent. I think him and Tomlin will get something going. They're going to get something going. This Nix guy or Bo Nix or whatever, Broncos.
It's in Denver. Don't forget the altitude.
Still don't matter. I think the Steelers defense looked pretty good too. I think, the Steelers win this game in Denver.
Abe?
Robert. Abe.
I think I think the Steelers are like a high school kind of shit where they just like, I think I want to go with this girl, or you know what, I'm going to go with this girl, and they're undecisive, and they got that with and Russell Wilson. And I just think it's just disaster. I think it's just a shit show there. Any of them. The only reason why the Pittsburgh won was because Kirk Cousins was just like fucking dazed and confused. And the Broncos, I think Bo Nix is the real deal. Cowboys should have drafted this. And I like him in Denver. I think Denver I think Sean Payton's kind of getting into the fold here. And I mean, they paid Patrick Surtain. They paid him, and he's the best out there, the corner. I'm gonna go with the Broncos on this one.
I got the Broncos as well, based on the altitude, and I don't think Justin Fields is gonna have a good day there. Also, the quarterback matchup, yeah, like Bo Nix he looked all right in that second half. Was making some stuff happen. Wasn't like too good. I'll say that for the most part, but better than Fields for sure. And that's going to be enough to get them. It's going to be another one of those ugly games. This could be like 13-10, something like that. It's going to be all defense for the most part. But if you want to make one more play, it's probably going to be that Denver quarterback.
For sure. I'm good with this game.
Anything else?
Now, real quick, you probably don't
You
care,
good,
but
Jacob?
Tua already threw a pick, and the
No,
Bills are up.
don't say nothing about the game. Don't say nothing about the game. We're not doing that. We're not doing that here. We'll talk about it on the next week's show. All right, next up is Jake's game of the week, the Sunday night football game. It's Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears traveling to face CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans in Houston. Jake, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, I got just because. Yeah, I don't like the Texans. Sorry, Jackson, one of my friends. I don't care. I mean, Diggs going over to help CJ
Pure
Stroud.
bias and hate.
Yeah, you could say that. I don't care for them because there's so many Houston fans that hate on the Cowboys. It wasn't like that before, and now it has been. I don't know where all this hate came from. I never care. I never would talk shit about the Texans or cared for them, but now I do because they think that they're better than the Cowboys. Do I think overall they'll probably win this game? Sure,
Because they are.
but I'm still picking the Bears. Caleb Williams. He did okay for his first appearance. Then the Bears defense stepped up.
64 total yards of offense.
He did okay.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I mean, he's the number one draft pick. Abe was all high on him, so we'll see what he can do. Let's see what he does.
But he did okay. 64 yards of offense. The Bears snuck away with that win. It was special teams and defense.
That's right. Okay,
Stop it with this Caleb. See, this is where you let the score like cloud your judgment on what the game actually was.
I got the Bears. Take it down, Abe.
Are you okay? You got the Bears. Okay, ready for this, Jake? Texans are going to smash them good. Like they're going to smash them. CJ Stroud and that team are they're going to be a playoff contender. They may end up challenging the Chiefs. If it's not the Bengals, it's going to be this team. CJ Stroud is just so natural in his throws, and now he's this GM, who used to be the GM for the Patriots, by the way, has surrounded him with so many, like, it doesn't even have to, they're not even like great players, but it's a bunch of like really good skilled players that you need. You got your Joe Mixons and you have your Dalton Schultz. Like these guys aren't like superstars, but they're pieces that you need. It's kind of like the New England way where Brady had like your what was the player? James White and your Danny Amendolas. They weren't superstars, but they were just the right guys to fit the organization and be playmakers. So Houston, big on this one, my friend. Abe?
So in the offseason, the Bears kind of bulked up. Like if you put the two teams side by side, they both, kind of bulked up if you look paper wise as far as players. They went and got DJ Moore. They drafted Roma Dunze. They went and got DeAndre Swift. They have Khalil Herbert. They went and got what's that dude over from San Diego? The receiver, Robert. I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? Keenan Allen. They went and got Keenan Allen, and I think he still has
about Keenan Allen, yeah.
Yeah, so then you compare it, right, with Caleb Williams, who's a decent quarterback. The Texans win and beefed up their offense, getting Diggs, getting Tank Williams back, having Nico Collins, Joe Mixon in the mix. Like, geez, like and Dalton Schultz, like it's an all around package. And this is gonna be a good game, maybe, but I'm still gonna give the edge to the Texans. Shout out to my Uncle Ray, because he loves the Texans, and I'm gonna go Houston because
I'm sure he's excited.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'm gonna go Houston because CJ Stroud, I think, is the better quarterback than Caleb. I think Caleb is gonna be something, but in this game, I think it's gonna be too much Houston. So I got Houston.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game because I'm really looking forward to it. I really hope this is a good showing for the Texans as to what they're going to be. And I wish Jake would take his bias out of it, but I'm glad that he actually admitted that he was biased against the Texans. So it's not like, it's not like he
Because
actually
y'all are
believes
so
that they're
high
not
on them, and
good.
they got
It's just
bounced
that
in the playoffs last year. They got bounced like what was it, 50-7, like whatever. It was terrible. They got beat up.
CJ Stroud made it in as a rookie. CJ Stroud
That's
made it in
fine,
as a
but
rookie.
okay, but they got beat up.
Oh,
Okay. And
And that was that.
what's the point? What's
Everybody's
the
like,
point you're
Texans,
trying to
oh,
make?
the Texans are going to go to the Super Bowl now because they got one playoff win, and then
Who
they got
who said Super Bowl?
all the
Who
Texans
said
fans,
Super Bowl?
and them thinking that.
No, you're just a
So
biased
I'm just
fuck.
calling
Listen
it.
to me. You're a biased homer. That's what you are. All right? You're a hater. And you won't even at
And
least
so are you.
admit
You hate Mahomes and you hate the Cowboys.
that
But you
CJ
won't
Stroud
admit
is good. But I
he's a
admit
decent
that
player.
Mahomes is great. I
Yeah,
said
he
he's
has Super Bowls
great.
to
What do you
prove it.
want?
He just
Okay, and I
he
admit that. Why are you coming after me like I don't think he's anything? Huh?
because every time you always say like,
Huh?
oh, well, that this
Got you on
player
the ropes,
carried
Jake.
him, or this
Huh?
player carried him. Freaking uh
When did I say that?
Coach Cup
When did I
freaking
say that?
Reed or Andy Reid covered him.
Pull out the receipts. Pull out the receipts. When did I say that?
I'm not gonna
Pull them
record
out.
everything you say or every text. So take a
You
picture of
got
every text.
nothing. You got nothing on me, man. You got nothing. It's all right. It's what you do. You backpedal, you pivot, 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 pivot. You're Ross Geller. That's who you are. You pivot. All right. Let's move off of that Sunday night game. Let's go to the final game of week 2, Monday Night Football. Kirk Cousins, Jake's favorite from the Atlanta Falcons, traveling to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Jake, what do you got?
Yeah, Monday night game on ESPN. Let's see. Easily I got the Eagles, of course. I was talking earlier to the guys the way Saquon's been looking that first game. Uh, I'm surprised he didn't get injury prone or get hurt. So the fact that he made it alive through that game without an injury and the way he looked, it's scary. I wasn't concerned about the Eagles. I thought they would be finished number 2 and the Cowboys would finish number 1. Now it's very going to be close now who wins the NFC East.
But
Jalen
we know
Hurts.
who you're still going to pick. Like, let's not kid ourselves.
Oh, to win the
You try to
NFC
play
East?
this game. You try to play this game like, but we all know who you're picking. Like, stop it. Don't play this game with
Oh
us.
yeah, well
You're
of course
not
the Cowboys
slick.
are winning the
I know
NFC East.
earlier you tried to be slick. You tried to be slick about the Saints earlier, like, oh yeah, well Derek Carr, he's not really. Like, stop it. We know they're gonna get beat on. Like, stop it.
Anyways, folks, yeah, Eagles over the Falcons. Kirk Cousins, you better show up this second game. If not, who's their backup, babe?
Michael Penix, baby.
Michael Penix.
Kirk
He
Cousins
looks
better
good in the
start
preseason.
getting ready for the bench if they lose this one, maybe. Hey, Robert.
I'll go. Yeah. 2 reasons again. I have a narrative, folks, but it's okay. I'm allowed a narrative here and there, but I'll give it to you straight. The Eagles are the better. I think they're the better squad. They got the better offensive pieces. I think they got a better coordinator, better head coach. Raheem Morris still got to prove himself again as a head coach. I expected a lot out of them out of the Steelers, and they just laid a big egg. But got the Eagles winning. And for narrative number 2, that'll put the Falcons at 0-2. And if the Bucks drop one, there'll still be a game behind them. So go Eagles. Abe.
When the Falcons got Kirk Cousins in the offseason, I was like, damn, because Kirk Cousins isn't a bad guy, Robert, if you stop and think about it. And I
He's
was
not.
okay.
He's like Dak Prescott.
Yeah, true. I think he's better than Dak Prescott. But anyway, when the Falcons signed him, and then with Bijan Robinson, and then of course with Pitts, I was like, okay, now Pitts is going to come alive because it's actually a quarterback that's worthy enough to get him the passes, get him the looks. Drake London's going to look like that first rounder that he was when he got drafted, and and I saw this first game against Pittsburgh, and man, I was just like, damn, the Steelers were just all over Kirk Cousins, and it at times it looked like Kirk was kind of scared to run outside of the pocket because of that injury. And
Yeah.
he did some passes, and he's still kind of a little scared. And they played at home. This is in Atlanta. Um, they're playing the Eagles, Robert, in Philly, and with Saquon playing the way that he played in this first game, and I know everybody's on the Saquon train, and I'll be on it right now until he gets hurt or hopefully he doesn't. I just think it's too much firepower on the offensive side, and the defense is not really that good. But if you make a couple of mistakes, like Cousins is known to do, then they're going to look like just unstoppable, like a tough defense. So I'm going to go with the Eagles, and I'm going to go because I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the better quarterback in this game against, and nothing against Kirk Cousins. I like him, but like I was telling you right now, he looks scared, kind of a little nervous, shaky to kind of get outside the pocket.
Yeah, my hot take is that Kirk Cousins is going to be the one that, like, I know everyone's saying, like, oh, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be the same off of that injury. I think it's going to be that for Kirk Cousins. I think Rodgers will be okay. But Kirk Cousins is going to have, like, a really tough go of it. There'll probably be talks of Penix maybe close to halfway in the season if this goes south. They got a good enough squad, but I don't know. Like you said, that injury may be in his head. And, yeah, that's my hot take. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have like a bad season based off of like just worries about getting hurt and not wanting to scramble, or not that he scrambles a lot anyway, but still.
Yep.
All right, folks, that's week 2. Abe, you have all of our picks down?
I do. I got them written down.
All right, we'll see who comes out on top next week. Even though we did agree a lot for this week, but I'm sure that'll change as we go along in the season. Yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked and excited for the games this weekend, and happy to be doing this podcast again and going full throttle, man.
I'm excited.
I am too, guys, for sure.
I'm excited. Back with my guys, with my boys, Robert and Jaco, and we got our trip up. So I'm excited about that as well.
Yep.
Super excited.
I got to get my NFL cap.
You're gonna be like Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe on that trip. I'm Rob Lowe. Yeah.
And just the camera goes to him and
yeah, I'll just be looking straight, like no facial expression, just watching some football. That'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm getting more excited. And then that'll be the first time me and Tom Brady will be in the same building since his final game where I was there in Tampa. So a lot of history being made again.
Yep.
It'll be nice not to have like stakes in the game and I can just like let loose and enjoy it.
You know, maybe you'll be in a better mood on this trip because I know the last time we annihilated.
Oh, you got the utter destruction of the Patriots.
You were just,
that was as low as you can get for a Patriots fan. Like I was just,
and we were like, Robert,
I was not having it.
You want to watch Sunday Night Football? He's like, nah, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do shit. I think you went to bed early too, if I'm not mistaken. But
no, I would watch the Sunday night game because it was Zach Wilson and the Jets against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Don't be making lies about me. We watched that game.
I don't know, Robert.
Robert was half asleep on
making lies about me.
You're still sourpuss. You were still a sourpuss.
I was, but I still watched the game. I was still into it.
Yeah, and then remember Abe, the Patriots guys behind us. Oh yeah, and the Patriots they scored like a field goal, and then like yeah, man. I was like, get out of here, and then we just scraped him up.
Oh no, we all know how the season ended anyway. Y'all didn't do anything, so it doesn't matter. If you don't win the last game of the season, nobody gives a shit.
Oh man,
I can't wait to see you pick that week.
All right, guys. We'll see. That's what in a couple of weeks, so we'll see how the teams are doing then. I'll be fair. I mean, I didn't even pick the Bucks this week. So what are you talking about?
Because you know I'm going to come after you.
No, I come after you because you're the homer. I won't pick the Cowboys every week. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There's no evidence to that fact at all. There's not a
Well,
shred
like
of
I
proof
said,
that that'll be come to
the week
fruition.
against Detroit, folks.
I bet you if I
you're gonna
bet
be
like $200 against you, then for sure you'll pick against them. That's the only way. That's the only way we'll get you to pick the other side.
You hear
But
this,
I won't
Brandon?
do that because that's too easy.
Brandon.
But Brandon also, you always ask for Brandon for help, but Brandon tells it like it is too. So I don't know why you're always like crying for him for help.
Now, because he knows too, he feels for me and Medina. Little Medina shout out.
Medina even tells it more like it is.
Yes, but he knows he's still on my
Except
side.
you're delusional. You're delusional,
Oh,
my friend.
Run to people to help you, Jake, to fight your battles.
And you motherfucker, you're supposed to be too, because you're a Cowboys fan, supposedly.
I'm a realist, motherfucker.
Oh, speaking of, this is how we're gonna end the show. I told Abe I had an important question for him on this podcast, and I know it's going to be like he doesn't know what the question is, but he's got to answer it here on the pod. This will probably help you, Jake, give you some clarity. You ready for the question, Abe?
Yeah, go for it.
You ready to answer this?
Go for it.
And I want an answer because I need it. All right, just for the sake of my psyche and for this podcast and for the fans listening to this, Abe. What kind of Cowboys fan are you going to be? Are you for this team? Or are we going to get the guy that, when Dak got that contract announced, like you sounded like you were just done with them. But then on the other half, once they won, you were like, yeah. And then coming after me, like, yeah, Robert, like, yeah, Turpin time. Like, what are you?
Yep, very interesting.
Are you Jekyll? Shut up. You shut up over there. Are you Jekyll and Hyde? What are you? I want to know what kind of Cowboys fan you're going to be.
I'm Randy Quaid.
I don't want to hear like
I'm Randy Quaid.
I don't want to hear like I tell it like it is because you're either far left or far right when it comes to this thing. And it's like I need you to be like either in the middle or you're going to swing one way or the other. What is it? I need to know.
I'm Randy Quaid from Major League.
No.
I now?
No. I need you to be your own man.
I tell it how it is.
What are you going to be, Abe?
I tell it how it is.
There's no back and forth.
Because there's plenty of room, Abe. I'm telling you, there's plenty of room on this Bucs team for you to join and get on this Baker high and this Hall of Fame career that Mike Evans has. There's plenty of time. I'm telling you.
I'm going to tell you this, guys. Like, look, I'm not that.
Give me an answer.
I'm going to give you the answer. I'm not that Cowboys fan that every year is like, oh, this is our year. This is going to be our year because it's been.
And I'm not either.
But I'm more.
No, you're a mark. You're a mark. You're biased. You're out of this.
Or I'm more on the lines of like, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to leave.
So you
got one foot out the door.
I do. And
are you saying like if they lose this season again, like if they get bounced out or don't make the playoffs, are you done?
I have to say I'm done, guys. I have to say that. I have to say it until they can go back to winning ways, Robert, because look, this past offseason, what did Jerry Jones say? Money is not an option. Who did they get? Nobody. What did they do in the draft? Nothing. Can I ask you something, Robert? Let me get your take on this because I'm going to ask Jake, and Jake doesn't like this guy. What was the whole point? And I think I have an understanding, and I could be wrong, and I guess I am wrong because I thought it was going to play into that. What is your take? Look, so my foot is 1 foot in, 1 foot out, okay? But what is your take on Trey Lance? What was the point of that? Because it was a 4th round pick, but you got him for some reason, right? And why keep 3 quarterbacks when they've always had 2 on the roster?
You ready for this? You ready for this? And it's not even a shocking answer. Jerry Jones likes headlines. Likes to stay in the spotlight. That's all it is.
But
why do you announce the Dak contract right before the game? Headlines. Keep him relevant. Like that's what he is, man. He's an entertainer. Like I don't take him serious, like for any reason. And neither should Jake. But Jake's probably the only one that rah-rahs for Jerry Jones. Everybody else is sick of him.
I'm tired of him.
He's your Vince McMahon. Until he's out of there, the product's never gonna be like what it can be. I'm on the wrestling side. Vince McMahon's gone. Whew, WWE has never been better. Like, and I'm telling you, the other side of it is incredible. And for the Cowboys fans, it'll feel like that the day Jerry Jones is out of there.
Yeah, but you're still gonna watch that Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix, mother.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna be like insight. It's not because like, oh yeah, I'm a fan of his. Like I want to see what people are, what they dug up.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
But you rah for Jerry Jones. I know you do. You're a mark.
You do.
It's okay. You're like the only one. Everybody else is sick of him, but you're like, oh yeah, every movie he does is great. Like no, he can do no wrong, nothing. Right?
Jones.
I don't know why you're spinning around in your room. You look weird. What do you think you are, Joker? What are you dancing? What are you doing? Sorry for our audience. You can't see what's going on, but what are you doing?
I was just standing up for a second.
You were spinning. What are you talking about? But I digress. Again, you're a mark for Jerry Jones. This guy just needs to get out of the way. And once that happens, y'all will be like, you'll see light at the end of the tunnel. Except Jake.
We'll
Jake just thinks like y'all are there. Yeah,
we'll see what happens this year.
You're in a time loop.
You said that last year.
You're in a time loop.
You said that the
I wish you would admit it. And I've been saying this to him for so long. He just doesn't get it. And I get it. And it's not even about like, well, I just support my team. No, that's fine and all, but you can be realistic about your team too.
Would you say that Cowboys fans, including myself, are like that type of relationship where the guy's always like bad to the girl, but she just keeps saying, I love him and I can't leave him, and keeps going back. She leaves for a little bit and goes back. I kind of feel
it's the opposite.
That's how you act
it's
too.
The opposite.
It's
the opposite.
Like there's some times where you sound like, man, like they're breaking up tonight, and then like the next week, like, oh yeah, you're like all lovey dovey again. That's you, Abe. That's why I need to know what kind of fan are you going to be. Like, I don't want to see in the chat where you're like turpentine in this. It's like, really, you were just dogging.
Yeah, and then the next one he's like, oh, Dak, fuck that.
30 minutes ago. No, you be quiet. You have nothing to do with this. It's between me and Abe, right? Because I need to know.
You fucking.
Right?
Yeah, we finished our weekly picks. Wow. What else do we have left for the audience?
Just for Abe to answer the question, then we can go off air.
Yeah, I answered it. I mean, I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
But I don't want any more of this Jekyll and Hyde.
I'm in the middle.
Keep it straight. If they get you mad, just be like, oh well, you know, that's what's expected. It's what I've dealt with. And then if they win, you'd be like, great. You know what? They got the win. But listen, this is what I want from you. If you're going to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If they get you mad, just be like, hey, look, man, we've dealt with this for so long. I'm kind of like numb to it. If they win, oh, look, that was a great win, but I'm not excited. I want to see what they can do in January. That's all I want out of you. Can you do that?
Yeah, we can see. We will see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't want to hear turpentine or you bragging like there's somebody and then be mad at them the other time.
Robert hates Parsons, but
can be back and forth. Can be. Like, yeah, you can't be like that. Like, you're scared of Micah, but then the next
I want you to admit it.
I'm done with this. I'm done with this team. I'm done with them.
Admit it.
Yeah.
Admit you're scared of Parsons.
Admit what?
Admit.
I'm not scared of him.
Oh.
He's Jekyll and Hyde too. He crawls around, then he's pouting the next. Like, get out of here.
And that's what I'm afraid of.
This whole team is Jekyll and Hyde, except for a delusional guy over here. Can do no wrong. They don't do no wrong. They don't play bad teams. They're awesome. My heart is
always with my team.
Hold on, Robert.
My heart is with the Cowboys.
And what are you saying? What are you saying? My heart's not with my team? Huh?
We have two teams, folks. For the record, he has two teams.
I want to say this real quick because of that other fuck right now. Because he was like, when they signed Dak Prescott, he was like, I'm good with them signing Lamb and Dak Prescott. And I said, okay, but that means that they might not be able to sign.
We're still going to get Micah.
No, hold on, bitch. Because you said, well, that's okay. I'd rather him go. And they said, like, are you fucking kidding me? He's the heart and soul of the defense. Without him, there's not really that
Let's
good of a
wait
team.
and see how the year turns out. Just
Oh,
stop.
yeah, now you're fucking changing it. Gosh damn, dude. All right. You fucking fake ass John Wick.
Jake's ready to turn on him. Jake's ready to turn on him.
Well, I already said I hate his stupid ass
I love
podcast.
it.
That's one thing. But anyway, fuck out
Oh,
of
here
here.
we
It's
go.
a
See, he's
regular
planting the
podcast
seeds,
during the
folks.
season.
Here we go.
Carson.
I love it all. But Sunday, if he has like 10 sacks, he's like, yeah,
Well, I'm not gonna not root for him. Yeah.
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde, all of you. Yeah, y'all make me sick.
I just hate that he has a stupid ass podcast. But anyway,
All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. Thanks for joining us here on kind of like our season premiere, but we've kind of did a couple episodes already. But we're full on here from here to the Super Bowl, so we'll be coming at you each week. If some of us can't make the show 1 week or another, we'll still put out an episode and give you our picks and our thoughts and our analysis. Hopefully Abe will have more analysis about the Lions and Bucks on next week's episode. You know, I'm kind of disappointed in him
and like
today
Robert
for
said,
that, but
folks,
that's okay.
if some of us are not here and we're placed on the IR, the show will go on.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, it's September, so you're gonna see a lot of bad football. You'll see bad takes and analysis. Not for me because I'm always in mid-season form. So, and again, I'm on another level than these guys. I'm like I'm like John Cena mode, Tom Brady mode. Just think of all the goats you think of in your life in whatever area. That's me this season.
Yeah, you're the Stephen A. Smith of our podcast. I'm the Nick Wright. Guy knows a lot.
No, you're
Everyone's
not.
like, who?
You're always injured, dude. You're always on the PUP list. Can you stay healthy for one season?
All right, guys. Hey, plug our socials and our email.
For our Twitter, not Twitter, I'm sorry, for X, it is at UR Roughness Pod. Go ahead and get that in. It's the letter U and R, and then or roughness actually spelled out podcast. Our email is 2-minute drive with the number 2 spelled out, TWO minute drive podcast at what are we at? Outlook.com. And Robert's running the Facebook page as well as Jake running the Instagram page.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully this year we get some more love on the emails and our socials out there as we get our name thrown out there in the out in the streets, word of mouth. Jacob, spread the market.
Yeah, Instagram. I'm getting some new followers quite a bit. Brandon's always showing love.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, Brandon, big
Love
shout.
it. Love it.
Actually, yeah, I was.
All right, guys.
He was he's in our group chat, Robert, for the fantasy, and he was like, "Hey, when is the show?" So he's hyped up, man. That guy's great.
Yeah, I know we're recording this on Thursday. I'll get this up and running really quickly, so that way it'll be up by at least Friday morning, and everyone can listen to this before the games on Sunday. So enjoy the rest of the Thursday night game, which is in progress. And we'll see you all next week.
Later, guys.
Later.
Later.